arrival, but for your safety, please remain off all tracks and behind all yellow lines. If you have small children, please take them by the hand at this time. For those needing to pick up or purchase tickets, please see the ticket agent at the ticket office. We hope you enjoy your visit today and want to thank you for riding the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard the Missionary Bridge Local Train 100, departing Grand Junction Station with East Chattanooga Depot, our destination. Our journey today will take about an hour. We have 15 to 20 minutes of travel in each direction on 3 miles of track donated to us by the Southern Railway. Once we reach East Chattanooga, we will have a 20 to 25 minute layover as we demonstrate the use of our turntable, turning our locomotive around 180 degrees for the return trip. And after that, we will have a brief tour in our back shops area where we will show where we on the left left side of the train as well. We've laid a section of track down on that roadbed, and then there's a sign marking the Great Flood of 1867. Next to that sign is a tree with a yellow line painted on it, and that line is 9 feet above the rails. So it's kind of difficult to operate a steam locomotive underwater.
Use the restroom while here. There is one inside the depot, the gray wooden building on the right side of our train once we get stopped. There is also a small selection of drinks, snacks, and souvenirs inside that depot as well. Please do remain seated though once we come to a stop. We will let you know when it is safe to make your way to the exit. Once you exit the train, just take a left turn, follow that pathway past the locomotive and down to the turntable. Steam locomotives will go through about 3 to 6 tons of coal a day on average. You'll also spot our 2 operational steam locomotives, the first one being the Southern Railway 630 there on the left. It was built in 1904 by the American Locomotive Company. It is the smaller of the 2, built as a mainline freight locomotive. It is the oldest operating piece of equipment in our collection at 119 years old this year.
It's my hand. And to give you an example, the 4501 over there, fully loaded with coal and water, is 215 tons. So it was almost 300 tons they were actually having to turn by hand. But don't worry, I'm not about to ask for any volunteers. We don't do it that way anymore today. Instead, this turntable has been electrified. Don't worry about me, though. Electricity will not go through bad conductor. One of you got them. So we'll be using a small 25 horsepower electric motor under the operator's shed here that our flag and Matt and once Amtrak retired the locomotive, we would acquire it here at the museum, and we would restore it back to its original appearance, although it is still technically GP9 producing 1,750 horsepower. But we've been using it here since that time. Our mouth point and commence turning. If you have a look up at the cab here, everyone go ahead and give him a wave. I mean, he still has to get his back after all. Now, while these are commonly referred to as a diesel locomotive, the correct term for these engines is actually diesel electric, meaning inside this engine there's a large 16-cylinder diesel motor turning a generator. That generator produces electricity, which is then fed down to the electric traction motors that sit on each axle of this locomotive. And it's those electric traction motors that are actually propelling the locomotive, hence the term diesel electric, so you can think of them as a hybrid of sorts. Now, diesel locomotives have always been made that way, and that is the way they are still made today. The big difference between the locomotives having been built in 1950 like this one and the one being made today is that the modern locomotives have computer systems in them, they produce much more power, and they're much more fuel efficient. Now, the reason why these locomotives were going to replace the steam locomotive was for nothing but money. Steam locomotives are just much more expensive all around to operate. When you factor in things such as your crew and labor costs, the maintenance and repair costs, fuel, and the water costs, and so on, compared to all that, these are just much cheaper to run. There is a misconception, though, that power was the reason. That is actually not the case. Just to give you an example, like I said, state-of-the-art 1950, only 1,500 horsepower. Well, a 4501 sitting over there, 40 years older, having been built in 1911, 2,500 horsepower. So again, power was not a reason they were replaced. Now, while our train is still sitting on track number 1 there by the depot, we're going to line this locomotive up with track number 2 so we can do its 28.
That car was built in 1917 by the Pullman Company for the Vice President of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. It was his private car, where he was living.